In this video, I'll be going over an iceberg on myself. I'll be discussing topics on me from an online perspective. This video will include unreleased and cancelled projects / YouTube videos. I assume most of you know how iceberg videos work already, but those who don't know, this video will discuss well-known things about me online, like things I've already posted online that have been up for a while, or projects / YouTube videos that most people don't know or even remember. With that explanation out of the way, let's get into it. Ultimate Custom Night V2 is a remix of the popular game, on Scratch at least, Ultimate Custom Night, made by lowkey. It's a game that I already covered in a previous video, so if you want to know how the game works, I advise you go watch that video instead. This game is filled with crappy art by me and crappy voice acting as well. It was one of my first game development projects back in 2019. Frogging is a series I made during my SML fan era. Every single time, I'd gather up all my plushies and record on my iPad mini at the time. Like most videos, Frogging and Brady were going on adventures or doing stupid things together. Even making my own fan-made Be at the Eye series that was never finished. Fun fact, I always recorded these videos in one shot and never edited these videos before. Five Nights at Sonic's is a FNAF fan game made by One in Mario / the Side App. This game series would inspire me to make my own FNAF fan games as well. The game series has a plethora of games, ranging from mediocre to tolerable at best. But 10-year-old me ate this up. Nightmare Golden Sonic, my beloved. My YouTube thumbnails were the first thing I ever made in Scratch, and then I edit them using Paint.net. There's nothing else to this. The Battle Cats is a 2D strategy game based on, you guessed it, cats. A game where I still play to this day, where you fight enemies with different traits, abilities, and other things as well. Discover new enemies and go through events with challenging foes, yada yada. I'm sure you watch my channel, so you already know what Battle Cats is. I recently made a video discussing on this game. Go check it out if you want to. When I was in high school, I made school projects on Scratch. These were playable just through clicks and pictures shown on screen. These are still up to this day. One was for geography and the other one was for gym class. Honestly, I don't even know how I got a good grade on these. Back in 2021, I had an early Friday Night Funkin' phase. I used to make animations on songs that use my favorite characters like The Best and all my other OCs and stuff. The games were not playable, and so it would just be like a showcase pretty much. A lot of things were planned, but a lot were scrapped due to unmotivation and other projects. FNAF 5 Scratch was an old fan game made of, you guessed it, Five Nights at Sonic's 5. The original game was lost media, but I do have an old copy that I heavily edited. This game had a bunch of spin-offs, remasters, and remixes. I remember playing this game all the time and laughing at it with my friends a lot. Skibidi Clicker was a canceled project I was making with my friend that was based on, you guessed it, Skibidi Toilet. The game would have been a clicker game, of course, and that's it. Five Nights at Pico's is an old Scratch game made by Danvin. It's a series I used to play as a kid. I have an old remaster I was planning to make, but it got canceled to whoever knows what. But I'm glad I did, because the best probably wouldn't have been a prominent OC and just would have been left as a comic series character I had. Zombie Strike was a game collaboration between me and a couple of my friends back in 2022. It was a zombie wave survival game that was abruptly cancelled due to unmotivation and my inability to code at the time. The game had a huge amount of stolen code, even the base game was stolen too. There was nothing original in this game, and it's honestly kind of embarrassing to call it my first ever real Roblox project. Super Duper Secret Project is a secret project. Anyways, this game is a mod based on League of Roblox. After the game was stolen by a certain someone, but other than that, as a team, me and a couple others modernized the game slightly and made some improvements to the game. I worked on it as a developer doing multiple things like balancing, a VFX artist, animation, and even coding. Even getting fired multiple times for being problematic to the other developers and to the community. Mist0rSw3g's Paintball mod is a mod of Mad Paintball that honestly didn't do much other than add a few characters, and that's really it. It got cancelled due to no players, and the game honestly just sucked. Ultimate Custom Night R is a spiritual successor to Ultimate Custom Night made by lowkey on Scratch. But this project was made on GDevelop. This was my first GDevelop project, and honestly it doesn't hold up due to me using a program I wasn't really familiar with. The game is buggy and broken and bad, so I wouldn't recommend playing it to this day. People Stereotypes is an old series I made making fun of me and my friends and stuff about what we used to say back then. It was inspired by Soundsmith's TF2 Stereotype series. It was made on my older account back in 2016, so all these videos are lost media and I don't have access to my older account anymore. So people like Egbert can't glaze the series no more. Ultra Custom Night is a fan-made game by Camille Firma. based on Ultimate Custom Night by Scott Cawthon. I used to be obsessed with this game back in 2022 and played it religiously. It even inspired my own game projects and future character designs. Even inspired me to make my own full fan game somewhat based on it, but that comes later in the iceberg though. Jacob's Rework is a League of Roblox mod based on the community members in the lore community back in the day and their OCs. Made by Jacob Murderhead, I was hired as a developer near the game's death. This is when I had no experience in coding at all and only knew lore modding somewhat. Due to SDSP coming out a few years later due to an incident, this project was essentially killed. The best and the other versions of himself came from an old comic series of mine I made in 2016 and 2017, inspired by one of my other friends' comic series that will never come out, and Edward as well. Sadly, I don't have the comics anymore, so all this is considered lost media. Ultimate Gremlin Chat Night is a cancelled game I was making on Scratch based on me and all of my friends. The only working character in the game is me and an old friend of mine. The others weren't coded due to me not caring about the project anymore. Alien Invasion is a game that inspired my game Robot Invasion, and the original Robot Invasion was heavily inspired by this game, even using its main menu theme as the game's menu theme.
Holy fuck.
Cool_Emil12 was the Scratch developer that made FNAF games most of the time. The reason why he's here is because I remixed 2 of his games. Ultimate and the Best Night 1 to 2, respectively, are remixes, since I didn't know how to code at Scratch at the time. Mist0rSw3g MOBA is a mod of League of Roblox that I made back then in 2020. The game was made by a few of my friends and the community at the time. It had our OCs and Roblox avatars at the time. The game had many cancelled versions and test places that were scattered all over my Roblox studio. Critical Strike was an old Critical Strike mod. It was cancelled due to me not liking the code and me being bad at coding. Five Nights at Their Best 2. This game will never come out. Isn't that right, Steven?
Okay.
The Smug series was an old series I had in mind, where each Five Nights at Sonic's Maniac Mania version, I'd take a picture of Nightmare Sonic and make a video on it. The reason why it's called Smug is because he has a smug face in the video, and me and my friends made a joke on it. That's it. Gay is an old Geometry level I made it back in 2017 on my iPad mini. The only remaining footage of it is me recording a video on it trying to verify it. Super Smash Bros. Melee Remastered is the SSBM mod I made that rebalances the characters, and that's pretty much it. The game is still up to this day in a private Discord server I uploaded them to. So back then I used to make game teasers for my old The Best Games on Scratch. A lot of them weren't even that cool and no one cared, but I was having fun, so I guess that's something. Mist0rSw3g's Hangout server was an old server I made before my current Discord server. The server is still up to this day, with a few members still in it. Battle for Dry Island was a series I planned to make with my friends a long time ago. The project got cancelled due to demotivation, and we all thought the project was too difficult to make. Fun fact, The Best made his first debut here with his original design. His name is based on an Ace Attorney character named Sebastian the Best. Even my friend has an alt account based on him. Back in late 2017, my original account RWLow was deleted for whatever reason. I honestly don't remember why, but after that decision, I was forced to make a new account, and this is where the name Mist0rSw3g came from. This happened all the way back in December 2017, and I still want the RMLG FaceBase account back. Lore was again a League of Roblox mod I made back then, when I went through so many revisions and remakes. After that, I got cancelled due to me getting hired to work as a Jacob's Rework developer, and later on SDSP. Omega Custom Night was a cancelled game project I was going to make. The game was essentially going to be Ultra the Best Night, but it got cancelled due to me being terrible at coding at the time. No Hope Scratch was a cancelled FNF project I was making. That's it. Shape Battle was a game project I was going to make in a Godot engine. It was cancelled due to me not liking the engine, but I still have the sprites, and the source code is lost media. The Best Adventure was my first ever G-developed project. It was planned to be a platformer, but it was cancelled due to the game being boring to make and me wanting to do other things. I still have the source code and the art saved. It even has robots and Robot Invasion in there too. After Reason to Die's Awakening's cancellation in 2021, Reason to Strike was a cancelled Reason to Die Awakening remake I was planning on doing. It was cancelled due to me not knowing how to code at the time, and later on it became Zombie Strike in the future. Mist0rSw3g's Battle Arena 1.0 was the old game project I was making with another one of my friends back in 2019. The game was never released for no reason. The game isn't lost media though, with me still having the source code. A side note, but I went back into the game, and the game had so many free models and viruses in them. Skibidi Runner was supposed to be a Skibidi Toilet platformer game made in G developed with me and my friend. Before this game went anywhere, we decided to go with Skibidi Clicker instead. The ASMR video was a parody of me making fun of ASMR channels, but the video had unfunny jokes and things I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. The video got taken down by YouTube a while back, and the video is indeed lost media now. Clubstep was the geometry level I was working on back when I first started playing the game. It is lost media, so I don't have proof of it existing, but if you know, you know. Find the Swags is the old game project I'm on that is lost media. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I can't seem to find it in my files. But from what I remember, it was a game plan where you have to find the swag plushies, and the most rare ones would be harder to find. Similar to Find the Marker. There were old characters in the older version of Ultra the Best Knight that aren't canon in the universe anymore, like the GD Cube, the Spike, and the Adventure characters. Honestly, probably a lot more if I were to do another project on these characters again, but who knows. Me and my friends had an old YouTube channel that we had back then where we would post random crap. That's it. The channel is dead and still up to this day. I'm pretty sure I saw the login info, but the account is dead as hell, so who cares. Ultimate the Best Knight 1 to 2 and the old version of Ultra the Best Knight were planned to be remastered at one point. I never followed up with this for obvious reasons, and the announcement is still up to this day. Although the first one and Ultra the Best Knight game did actually get a rematch from me a long time ago, even though I forgot about this. Five Nights at the Best 1 was planned to come out back in 2017 with me and my friends originally working on the game. The game was originally supposed to be made in the ClickTeam engine, even having a control page and everything. Since we didn't have the money for ClickTeam, the game was cancelled shortly after and never really thought of again, until the game eventually got revived again, and it came out during UDN 1's second anniversary. After me and my friend rushed to get the game out in one night, quickly adding assets and coding and having a 7-hour Discord call to get the game out, but at the end of the day, it was worth it. An old fan game I was going to make back in 2015. It looks like crap and it isn't even playable. Same thing as the previous game, but even worse. This game was planned to be a Scratch version of the Maniac Mania using stolen Scratch vendor assets. I never really got that far due to me losing interest in the project, but maybe I could have cooked on the project. The game is still up in my Scratch files. The game has a main menu that doesn't really work in the office spawn, and that's it. Ultimate the Best Knight 3 was supposed to become a thing, but due to me not being able to find a proper game to mod, it was cancelled. An old DeviantArt page I had with my 2 old MS Paint doodles on there. It is still up to this day, but my profile picture being a crappy drawing of one of the characters from Five Nights at Sonic's 4 named Nightmare Sonic is lost media. The same as those other projects made in 2016, cancelled and has a title screen that doesn't work properly. An old remaster I was working on in 2022 to 2023. It was cancelled due to me not being able to code and remaster the game properly and me thinking the game wouldn't get players. The game was an uncopyrighted version of Twisted Murder and had rebalancing and other quality of life changes. Egg Studios was an old team I was in. I don't even remember too much about it, but it was a studio planned to make a remaster for the game Mad Paintball in 2022. The game and the group is currently lost media. I don't even remember who was even a part of the project. I can tell because nothing was actually even done with the project at all. The only thing that's known about this group is that it still shows up in Roblox Studio. Ultra the Best Knight R was a planned remake of the old Ultra the Best Knight using another game for its source code. It was cancelled due to me not liking the base game source code and me being competent enough to code my own projects. Keep in mind that this was planned before the current version of the new Ultra the Best Knight was even conceptualized. Necrosmashers X was a planned remaster of my friend's old level Necrosmashers. It was a hell-themed level with the Castle Crashers Necromancer theme used as a song. There's even a video of me verifying the original, but the funny part is that the remaster unironically plays worse than the original, which I don't know how I even messed that up.